بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sunday class lesson number 28, basic religious teaching. Trust in Allah, He will make things work out for you. Dear children, it is true that we all are created weak, but the Almighty, the most powerful Lord who created us, by no means weak. Even if all the powers in the world come together, they cannot make him weak. We are so weak that if we go hungry for just one day, we become exhausted for the next day. We are so weak that if we were told to stand for 24 hours without eating, we could not do it. We are so weak that if a strong person pushes us with all his might, we all fall. But Allah, who created us, is full of strength and power. We cannot even comprehend His mind. The greatness of our beloved Allah is unique. He is the greatest. There is no one equal to Him and no one greater than Him. The greatest support for us weak bondsmen is Allah. Just as weak and disabled people use a cane for a support, yes, Allah is the greatest support for all of us. We should rely on Him alone, and trusting in Allah is called tawakkul. In the Quran, it is repeatedly stated that we should place our trust in Allah. That is, in every task and matter, rely on Allah. If you are writing an exam, do not worry. Trust in Allah and He will surely grant you success, inshallah. If you are on a journey and face difficulties, trust in Allah and rely on Him. He will make your journey easy and help you reach your destination safely. If you are drawing in debt, trust in Allah. He will, by His grace, help you pay off your debt. If you fall seriously ill, do not lose hope. Trust in Allah and He will grant health and wellness to you. If you suffer a loss, place your trust in Allah as you should, and He will surely turn your loss into gain. If you fail any exam, stay strong and trust in Allah. He will certainly grant you success in the next one. Dear children, today inshallah we'll explain some important points about trusting Allah through verses from the Quran Majid and the Hadees of the Messenger of Mercy, Mohammed Sallallahu. The first point is that whenever we intend to do something, meaning we make a firm decision, one should place our trust in Allah. Allah said to our Prophet Hazrat Muhammad Sallallahu in the verse 159 of the Surah Al Imran, فَإِذَا عَزَمْتَ فَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ. So when you have decided, then rely upon Allah. The second point is that any person who trusts in Allah before and during every task is loved by Allah. Third one, dear children, the third point is that all of tasks are completed by Allah's will and decisions. We should live with the belief that the one who makes everything happen is Allah, in whose hand the entire world lies. And we should loudly say this beautiful phrase, Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakeel. Allah is sufficient for us and Allah manages everything perfectly for us. The fourth point is that when we believe in our beloved Allah, we should only rely on Him. In the verse of 11 of the Surah Ma'idah, Allah said, مَنْ يَتَوَكَّلَ عَلَى اللَّهِ فَهُوَ حَسْبُهُ. And let the believers put their trust in Allah. The fifth one, dear children, in life, stay away from despair and fear. We should fear only Allah and never be hopeless of the mercy of Allah. We must always remember that any hardship or difficulty that comes our way is already written in our destiny. Allah knows when every hardship and difficulty will come. So we should be courageous in life and leave our matters to Allah. Instead, developing tawakkul in your heart from now on. If anyone tries to scare you, confidently say, our Allah is with us. He He will surely help us. And say loudly, we trust in Allah, who is ever living and will never die. If you fail in your studies, don't lose hope. Say, if there is a loss today, there will be surely be success tomorrow. Today loss doesn't mean a permanent loss, Many great people in the world first failed in life, but they were strong, trusted Allah, and then rose from the depths of defeats to the heights of victory. The progress so much that they were counted among the prominent people of their country and reached the highest peak of success. Dear children, regarding tawakkul, we want to let you know one important thing through the verse from the Quran Majid. Whoever places trust in Allah, the law of Allah is there, He is sufficient for such person. The Quran says, وَعَلَى اللَّهِ فَلْيَتَوَكَّلِ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ. And whoever relies upon Allah is sufficient for him. Dear children, we mentioned earlier that today we'll teach you some important points about tawakkul from the Quran and the Hadees of the Messenger of Mohammed ﷺ. We have already shared the Quranic verses and now we'll present a few Hadees about tawakkul. Keep in mind that all the prophets and messengers who came to the world placed their trust in Allah and relied on Him. They faced many trials and hardship, but they always call upon Allah and trusted Him. Hazrat Ibrahim ﷺ was thrown into the fire. Yes, yet he trusted Allah, and Allah made the fire cool and safe for him. Hazrat Musa trusted Allah and instructed his people to do the same. And Allah saved Hazrat Musa and his people from Fir'aun. Allah created a path in the sea of Hazrat Musa ﷺ. Our Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said about the tawakkul that if you rely on Allah as you should, He will provide for you just as He provides for the birds. They go out hungry in the morning and return full in the evening. Allahu Akbar. Yes? Children, now tell when these birds neither engage in trade, nor they do have any job, who needs them and fills their stomachs? It is the one and only Allah who fills the bellies of all these birds. Crores of birds, the millions of birds are there. Crores of animals and crores of fishes of seas are getting regularly food, and Allah is feeding them with His power. Alhamdulillah. Now, inshallah, we'll explain two verses of the Quran Majid. The first one, Surah Zuha, verse 10. وَأَمَّا السَّائِلَ فَلَا تَنْهَرْ. And do not scold the one who asks. When someone in need asks for help, especially those truly in need and dependent on every morsel, we should assist them and not scold them. Second one, أَنْفِقُوا فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. And spend in the way of Allah. From the wealth and resources that Allah has granted us, just as we spend on ourselves, we should also spend in the way of Allah. Now, inshallah, we'll explain two hadiths. لا تحقرن من المعروف شيئا. Do not belittle any good deed. No matter how small or large a deed may be, if it is good, it should not be considered insignificant. There will be a reward for it. Second one is, من ذكرت عنده فليصلي علي. Whoever mentions my name should send durood on me. Whenever the name of our Prophet, beloved Prophet Muhammad ﷺ is mentioned before us, our first action should be to send durood upon him. Now, inshallah, we'll start series of the accounts of Prophet Hazrat Isa ﷺ. Hazrat Isa is among the exalted prophet. Hazrat Isa was the last prophet among the Bani Israel. Among all the prophets who were from the lineage of Hazrat Yaqub, Hazrat Isa was the final prophet. Between Hazrat Isa and our Prophet Hazrat Muhammad ﷺ, no other prophet was sent. Hence, the prophet who came before the last prophet, Hazrat Muhammad ﷺ, was Hazrat Isa ﷺ. The divine book Injil was revealed to Hazrat Isa. Through Injil, Hazrat Isa guided his people away from misguidance. The good news of the coming of our Prophet Hazrat Muhammad ﷺ to this world was given by the divine book Injil, which was revealed to Hazrat Isa ﷺ. And after me will come a messenger whose name will be Ahmed. referring to our Prophet Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There is a mention of Hazrat Isa salatu wasalam in 14 surahs of the Quran. Hazrat Isa was a noble prophet, born without a father from the pure womb of Hazrat Maryam alayhi salatu wasalam. Now, inshallah, we'll explain good morals, rights of common Muslim. We should not live isolated from common Muslim, but should understand that all the Muslims are united. Just as there are many bricks in a building and those bricks keep each other strong, we should also strengthen and support one another. The Quran informs us that all the believers are brothers. A Muslim has 5 rights over another Muslim. The first one, responding to salam. Second one, visiting the sick. Third one, attending a funeral. Fourth one, accepting the invitation. Fifth one, saying Yarhamkallah when someone sneezes. We should not backbite against any Muslim, disgrace or humiliate any Muslim. Nor should harbor envy or hostility. We should not look down or oppress others. Allah does not show mercy to those who do not show mercy to people. We must treat all Muslims with kindness and wish for them what we wish for ourselves. Now, inshallah, we'll explain life etiquettes, a few etiquettes of reciting the Quran Majid. Recitation should be done for the pleasure of Allah. Second one should perform ablution before reciting. One should use a miswak before recitation. Fragrance should be applied before the recitation. The fifth one, recitation should be done in a clean place. Sixth one, if possible, face the Qibla while reciting. Seventh one, if there is no issue, recite while sitting. Eighth one, recite slowly with proper tajweed. Ninth one, recite with a beautiful voice. 10th one, during recitation, maintain a serious and respectful manner. 11th one, reflect and ponder over the words while reciting. 12th one, avoid worldly conversation during the recitation. 13th one, recitation should be free from pretense. 14th one, when reciting words of the mercy, ask for mercy. When reciting words of the punishment, seek refuge from it. 15th one, recite with fear and reverence. 16th one, cry while reciting or at least adopt a crying posture. 17th one, do not turn the pages of the Quran with saliva on your fingers. 18th one must be diligent in practicing the commands of the Quran Majid. 19th one, recite and learn the Quran together in a mosque. 20th one, do not complete the Quran in less than 3 days. Now, inshallah, we'll start Shariat issues. When several people pray together, it is called congregational prayer Jamaat. The person leading the prayer is called the Imam, and those praying behind are called Muqtadi. A person praying alone is called Munfarid. The building is specifically designated for prayer. Where congregational prayer are held, it is called a mosque. The place where the Imam stands is called the Mehrab, and the place where the Khatib stands to deliver the sermon is called the Mimbar. Now, inshallah, we'll start Azkar of prayer, virtue of prayer. Dear children, as you know, prayer is a great and essential pillar of Islam. Our brave Prophet Muhammad said, "Qurratu aini as-salah." The coolness of my eyes is in prayer. Dear children, the Prophet Muhammad also said, if one of you had a river flowing in front of your home and you bathed in it 5 times a day, would any dirt remain on your body? The companions replied, no dirt would remain on the body. The Prophet Muhammad then said, this is the example of the 5 daily prayers. Allah erases sin through them. If we offer the 5 daily prayers regularly, Allah will, through its blessing, wipe away our sin. Now, inshallah, we'll start question answer series. Our question, your answer. The first one, when does Allah make things work for us? Second one, can we fully comprehend Allah's power and strength? Third one, what is the greatest supporter of weak bondsmen? Fourth one, should we rely on Allah in every task? Fifth one, whom should we trust when writing an exam? Sixth one, if we fall ill, on whom should we rely? Seventh one, in which surah is the verse وَعَلَى اللَّهِ فَلْيَتَوَكَّلِ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ? Eighth one, what is the meaning of Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakeel? Ninth one, in which surah is the verse wa 'ala Allahi falyatawakkalil mu'minun? Tenth one, which two things should we avoid? 11th one, in which surah is the command, do not ask the one who asks? 12th one, what is commanded in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse number 195? 13th one, whose name should we send blessing upon when we mention? 14th one, who is the last prophet amongst the prophets of the Bani Israel? The 15th one, in the angel revealed to Hazrat Isa والسلام, whose coming was foretold. Okay, children, class is dismissed. I'll see you next Sunday. Barakallahu feek. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.